I got the trailer loaded down this morning. I got the grading bucket, the compactor, the 36-inch bucket, the 18-inch bucket, and the jumping jack, the mini excavator, and pipe is on the ground. Kyle's here, and it might be a little wet on the surface, but we're going to go ahead and put the overflow structure in today. Another chance of rain on Monday, so it's wet on the top 2 inches. So once I dig down, it'll be dry, but go ahead and, oh, we got concrete too. Forgot the concrete.
The best part.
We won't forget the concrete when we have to mix it here in about 3 hours. So I'm going to get the laser set up, machine unloaded, and go ahead and check our grade, set the water line on where it needs to go. I got a flag marking over there so I can get that grade off. Start digging the ditch through the pond dam all the way down the back slope. And away we go. Got the Felco compactor, 36-inch bucket. Gonna go down here to the center where the old ditch channel was. We've already gone up there and checked our grades for the water level, so I know where to start digging the ditch at. Well, across the pond dam, I want to taper about 3 or 4 inches.
You want to fall through?
Yeah, fall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what we got, about an inch and a half of fall right there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll flatten it out. Yeah. What I normally do, I rake it a little bit so it's actually a little bit of loose dirt. That way that pipe sinks down into it, and because if you put it on that hard clay, it can actually leak a little bit. lay the pipe down right there. So I almost forgot to take a video. We got the overflow structure put in. We are now putting the first lift of dirt over top of it. Get that compacted in. I'm going to end up taking that tree down right there where the pipe discharge is at. There's a big hole under it, and it's not going to get any better with a pipe discharging on it. So I'll let Kyle finish backfilling all this. I'm going to run down there with the 220 once we get all this situated, and go ahead and rip that tree down and grade that out so that the pipe has a better defined ditch to go into versus dumping out right over top of a tree root and it just eroding that tree out where it falls down. So let me go ahead and finish putting some dirt in here, and we'll get it compacted in and wrap this up. So Kyle's up there packing in the top, and I come down here with the excavator. I'm going to rake all this dirt over top of the pipe. I'm gonna leave the last little bit exposed and end up putting some riprap around that to kind of make a little dissipator pad for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the excavator and rake this clay over top of that and touch it up. See my fish habitat I put in yesterday? So the trees on the back of the dam there, I took those and put them out there and put a little dirt over it, dug some holes, a little channel, some mounds, trying to leave all that open over there because they're going to kind of use that. That way there's no obstructions down there. Maybe do a couple of more piles over there between here and where the mini's at. But it's already like 4 or 5 feet deep right there, so it's definitely filling on up. It's got a long ways to go, but luckily the weather has held out, and it's rained, but not enough to really make too big of a mess. So I'm gonna walk up here and flag out, paint down a line. He's gonna get started digging that. I'm gonna come over here with the dozer, tidy this up a little bit, and then put the grading bucket on the excavator, big excavator, and then I'll do the backfilling of the trench with that. That way I can just sit up there on the side and swipe across there and fill the whole metastrip in. Overflow structure is in, so there's 2 feet of freeboard above that for the pond, so there'll be about 2 feet in elevation over top of water level. Pipe comes in all the way down the back slope. I'll come over here with the dozer when this dries out, grade all this out, and then run the ruckus rake over it, get it nice and smooth. I'm gonna bring one more load of dirt and dump over the end of the pipe, get a little riprap and make a little dissipator pad. End up taking down one more tree down there with the excavator and just making it where that discharged a little bit better. So that's done. We got a little bit of time left. We're gonna go up to the head section and get started on putting some of the drain tile in and get a head start on that. All right, so Kyle's gonna get started digging the ditch for the drain tile here. Got 600 feet to put in, so should be easily able to get that section in this afternoon. Then I can come back Monday and finish that. While he's digging that ditch, we're doing about 24 to 30 inches. It's pretty much on top of that layer of clay. So I figured as long as we stay right above that clay, we should be able to catch all that sand. And as that water's soaking down, it'll have a place to come through here and then run out into the pond. So it'll be interesting to see once we get that put in and the next rain, how much will come out of that pipe. Hopefully there are no more rains. That way I can get all this dried out and seeded, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm gonna go get the excavator, a big excavator, bring it up here so I can sit on the side and slick all this up after I help him put the pipe in. All right, so he's got the ditch dug here. Look at the groundwater already coming in. So a couple of spots I'm gonna kick down, but he'll end up continue that. We'll continue that all the way up there. He's gonna run that all the way to the grass up there. I'm gonna walk down in there and kick down a couple of these little spots and then start unrolling that pipe and putting it in the trench. All right, so I've got 400 feet of pipe put out. Well, not quite 400, that one's not all the way out yet. So double pipe going to the pond, one forks off right here, heads up there, and then the other one's gonna go up that meadow strip right there. Kind of put some dirt, kind of got it spaced out, so I can put some dirt there in between them. And hopefully, probably when I come back, that should saturate the ground enough where it should be flowing out the pipe then. But I'm gonna take the excavator, go down here and start pulling that across it there and just kind of swell the metastrip using the excavator so I don't have to get anything on top of that since it's all wet and muddy. All right, got the grading bucket on the excavator. I took the dozer, went across the pond dam. Still a little bit wet. Kind of bladed that off a little bit, went ahead and got that hillside over there. Got my couplers in here. I'm gonna go up here and he's digging the trench. Go ahead and start unrolling some of that pipe and getting that laid in the trench and backfilled. And then just kind of keep putting it in as he digs the ditch all the way up the hill. Right, so I am backfilling the ditch here now. I got a little scoop put in there. That keeps the pipes from being pushed all to one side. Put the dirt there, and then just kind of give it a little push. So I tried to offset it just a touch so that the main center of the ditch would possibly flow a couple feet there beside it. That way if we did get a big rain, it wouldn't wash the trench out, hopefully. But I hope to get all this established here pretty quickly by seeding, and shouldn't have to worry about too much erosion. I'm gonna put some riprap there, and might have a little piece of matting to put down, and that will kind of help protect this from eroding. Hoping this dries out enough where I can run the dozer up each side of it, just kind of create a channel again, a little bit more defined. But won't know until the time comes when it's about ready to seed next week. Kind of see how much this place has dried out. It's definitely on the trend of getting wet again. Not great for this. I just kind of lightly pack that, because that 4-inch pipe, well, any of that drain tile pipe is pretty easy to crush if you're not careful with it. So definitely nothing needs to be driven across this for a while until this kind of firms up and packs down through some rain cycles. Be surprised, or just kind of interesting to see how much that dries everything out. I feel like I'm going to be surprised at how well it's actually going to work. Now that kind of, because there's just enough clay in that sand where it doesn't allow it to really drain down. So I'm hoping that having a nice little pipe for that to go into should kind of help wick it down a lot faster than it just kind of meandering through to the pond right there, because you can definitely tell that it's oozing out the pond pretty good, draining down as well. Definitely the ticket for backfilling. Definitely speeds up the process and a lot safer for the pipe. this up. We are killing it. We're getting it done though, but we are working ourselves to death. He's got maybe another 40 feet to put in. I've been chasing him with the excavator, putting the pipe in and backfilling, so he should be able to get that rolled out. About the time I get finished slicking this up, and I'll move over there and tidy that up real quick. Getting the last section here backfilled. We just unrolled the last piece of pipe. Got it put in the ground. It is very wet through here. And I'm curious. It's been about going on over 4 hours since I put the first piece in. When I'm going to walk down there and look at it, see if there's any flowing out of the pipe before I leave here. So I got about another 20-30 minutes here to finish filling this up, and we'll be done. We rocked and rolled today, having an extra set of hands digging while I laid all the pipe and backfilled. Definitely turned a all-day project into a little more manageable time here. That and being able to backfill with the 220 definitely speeds things up. Just kind of smearing this around. Getting it all put back in place. Just kind of pat that down. About this sandier stuff is, if you notice, I don't really have any extra dirt. Clay will normally swell up. That makes it difficult to kind of backfill because you always end up with more dirt than you have trench. So you gotta leave it mounded up for it to settle back in. The sand pretty much doesn't really expand too much. You can just kind of pat it down a time or two and it fits right back in the trench. So, and then that bucket's so wide it mashes it down, but it doesn't create enough. I mean, you could smash it if you really hammer down on it, but just trying to pressing it back down even puts enough pressure to pack the dirt down but not smash the pipe flat. That, and it's down at a good depth. I didn't want to go any deeper because once you get into that layer of clay, it doesn't accept water anyways. That's why it's just laying right there on that sand clay layer. That's why it's so saturated. Alright, well, let me finish this up and I'm going to drive around and then walk over there and see if anything's trickling out of the pipes yet. Let's walk down here and see what we got. So I got that meta strip slicked up. Obviously it's still really wet right here, but sunshine is definitely working on it. You couldn't even walk on this yesterday, and now I can. And run up here with the skid steer and the rake and fluff that up a little bit. And the dozer. Get those few stakes up. Let's see, anything coming out yet? It's probably gonna take a little while. Got to get the ground saturated. Yeah, nothing yet. But I left those alone because I'm gonna cut this out and put some riprap in here to protect this from washing. But there it is. Drain tile is put in. Just needs to be dressed up a little bit more and put some seed out.